What's happening, tabletop gamers? My name is LeunameGames and welcome back to LeunameGames Unboxes. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Centipede by Gilmour, Nicole Kline, and Anthony Amato, and published by IDW Games. Let's go ahead and have a look at the back here and see what this is about. Wandering into an enchanted forest, a very lowly garden gnome finds itself surrounded by succulent mushrooms. The mushrooms are not alone though. Roaming in this enchanted forest, the gnome discovers the ruler of this magic land, the ravenous Centipede. Armed only with its wits and trusty magic wand, the little gnome must beat back the advancing Centipede and its army of beastly bugs. In Atari Centipede, 2 to 4 players venture into the world of the classic Atari arcade game. On one side, a player controls the gnome, exploring the forest and trying to defeat the Centipede. On the other side, the Centipede player, eager to destroy the gnome, must wiggle their way to the other end of the board. The gnome player rolls and depends on their dice to perform actions, while the Centipede player uses a deck of cards to spawn fleas, spiders, and mushrooms, trying to control the game board. The first player to eliminate their opponent wins the game. So an adaptation of an Atari game from way back when, which I will admit I have never played the Atari game, but I am curious. So with all that said, let's have a look and see what does Atari's Centipede have to offer us. The game comes with a small board to represent the playing area, and it's basically just a big grid with a green patch here that is meant to represent where the Centipede will be moving around, and 2 bars on the side, which depending on which color you'll be, is going to be where the gnomes will move around. Speaking of which, there is a gnome meeple for each of the 2 colors that you can play as, and I must say, the gnome meeple was very well done. Very easy to distinguish that this is the gnome compared to the other pieces. And just like the gnome pieces, there are 2 sets of pieces for the centipedes, one in green, one in blue. So depending on your preference, you could have a green go against a blue, or a blue gnome go against the green centipede. And I do want to remind you that these faces that you see on here are not actually painted onto the pieces. They are actually a set of stickers that come with the game that you have to stick onto the individual pieces, which is something that very much irritates me, I will admit. Stop making us put stickers on components. There's also a dice pool card that comes with the game, and this is basically where you are going to store all the dice after you have rolled them. There's also a card here that says his creature speed, when obviously that is meant to keep track of the speed of the various creatures that will move around the board. There are 6 gnome dice that come with the game, and these basically will represent the various actions that you can do on your turn. And I can say, for a positive note, that these are actually etched into the dice instead of just painted on, which is very nice. That means they're going to last a lot longer. At the same time as well, the black background here works really well with the white lettering. It makes it really easy to see the faces. There are a whole bunch of red mushroom tokens that come with the game, and you can easily tell they're a mushroom considering they are actually a mushroom shape, so you shouldn't have any issues telling them apart, even if you are colorblind. The same thing goes for these 3 pieces here, which are meant to represent fleas. They are an obvious flea shape. Even if they are the same colors as the spiders, the shapes are drastically different from each other, so you shouldn't have any issues telling them apart. There's also 2 decks of Centipede cards, and these are set to be 1 for each color, so that way each color can actually be used, because this is actually meant to be played for either 2 players or 4 players, which is why there are 2 decks of 11 each, and these basically show the different actions that the Centipede players can do on their turn. Now I will say here that the green ones on the dark green background is very easy to see, so you shouldn't have any issues there. The blue ones, on the other hand, are a little bit harder to see. They kind of blend a little bit into the background, So if you are colorblind, you will possibly have some issues with seeing them. And then finally, the game comes with 7 gnome control cards, which is basically meant to act as the player controlling the gnome, allowing them to move up and down the board. There are 2 sets of these cards. Like I said, it is meant to be played with either 2 or 4, so it's set so that each player can have a set of control cards. So that is everything you will get if you obtain Atari Centipede. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to learn how to play Atari Centipede, or if you want to know my thoughts on it, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more tutorials, reviews, and unboxings. Thank you all as always so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.